Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Sopiarz-Rianda. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend and are ready to get started. This is a really busy and very important week, which I will get into in just a second. But first and foremost, I wanted to just say what a fantastic job you guys did with your reader response journals in session 1. And the discussion for the gender critical theory last week was fantastic. You guys are doing such a good job with these critical theories. And this week we are wrapping up the unit on critical theories and short stories, and we're focusing on the Marxist theory this week. And before we dive into that, I just wanted to show you around our updates page and our materials page, just so that you're aware of a couple of changes that have been made. First, you might be thinking to yourself, where did Unit 1 go? Well, I organize everything in this little folder, completed units, and you can see this is the place to look for all the units that we've completed this semester. So once semester 2 is completed, then that's where you'll be able to find the unit is in the completed units folder. I just feel like it organizes our materials page and it helps you find materials a little bit more efficiently. So just want to make you aware of that. If you're freaking out and you don't know where Unit 1 is because you want to find something, that's where it is. Also, I added on Unit 2 folder, materials folder, the last day for late work for Unit 2, which is October 13th, Sunday. So I'm giving you one full week after session 3 is over on October 6th to submit all that late work for 75% credit. I also did put it over here on the right hand side along with some other really important things that we need to discuss. Let's start with September 30th, which is today, Monday, is the deadline for you to change your Jeffco password. If you haven't changed that password, you are not going to be able to log into Schoology come tomorrow. And that's really not a good idea because you can see that tomorrow is October 1st. And for those of you that have been with Jeffco and kind of been aware of the importance of October 1st, it's count day. And on count day, October 1st, is when the state takes attendance for students in a school. And that's how we get funded. As you know, every student gets a certain amount of money from the state, and that's how a school is able to operate. So, October 1st, it's super important for you to complete this assignment on October 1st, not before, not after, because that's how the state will be taking attendance. I need to have students log in on Tuesday in every class for J21VA, and in English 12, you need to post to the discussion social class on that day. You can post all your responses up until Sunday, but your initial post needs to be done on Tuesday. And I actually will not make that available. That assignment will be made available on Tuesday. So you won't see it in your session 3 folder this week because it won't be there until 12:01 October 1st. So you will not get credit for that assignment if you don't post on that day. If you post on the next day, you will get a 0 out of 30. It's super important for you to post on October 1st. I'm kind of like a broken record, but it's super important. Okay? So those are a few of the critical due dates this week, which are changing your Jeffco and October count. So like always, we click on Materials, click on Unit 2, Session 3, and on the session plan. So like I mentioned earlier, in this session you're going to be exploring our last theory, social class theory. It's also sometimes called Marxist theory. And it's all about how money and power impact the way we interact with each other. You're also going to be demonstrating your understanding of all 3 of these critical theories with the final project at the end of this session. So again, some important announcements that I mentioned in the last slide there. Jeffco password, be sure to change it. your Unit 2 late work deadline, October count. And again, make sure you post to 2.31 discussing social class on Tuesday. You won't get credit for it if you submit afterwards. So make sure that you do that. Here are all the assignments that are due this week and the suggested schedule for the week. Again, bolded, highlighted to get your attention on that October 1st day. So as always, what we do is we click Next to navigate through our session. And in this session, you're going to be introduced to social class theory. And here, you're going to be asked to watch this video and review both of these articles and links to have a better understanding of what social class is and how the characters negotiate power and money, who has it, who doesn't, and how do these distinctions, most importantly, impact the story. Okay? So be sure that you review all that information before you go to the next slide, which is the discussion. Again, the discussion won't be made available until Tuesday. So after your initial post, what you'll do is apply that social class theory to a short story, which is right down here. You're going to be reading A and P by John Updike. And after you read the story, what you'll need to do is respond to one of these prompts in a 1 to 200 word response. Our goal is to think about social class and how it impacts the story. So your lens is going to be about social class and how social class impacts the story. You're not going to be reading it through a feminist or a gender lens or a reader response lens. It's going to be on social class and that aspect of power. Who has it, who doesn't. And then you're going to submit it here on the next page. Click Next to navigate. Now this, after you have reviewed the social class theory and applied it to the short story, this last part of the session is your final project for critical theory. And this is a fun one. You have lots of, well, 3 options to demonstrate your understanding of critical theories. Again, you only have to do one, and it is worth 120 points. So here are your 3 options that I'm going to review in detail with you. So the first one is critical discussion. And I think you might remember this from our very first session when we were talking about a short little story and how the discussion of a classroom online, every student had a different way of looking at the story. Well, that's basically what you're going to create. Pretend that 2 friends have just finished watching a current movie, a movie that you've already seen, and they're discussing the movie afterwards. One of the friends focus their interpretation of the movie on gender theory. The other wants to talk about it using social class theory. What kind of conversation do they have? Write a 1 to 2 page dialogue between them. And then use Go Animate, which is a free tool, to create a cartoon of their interaction. And then submit the link to your video on the next page along with that dialogue. Okay, so that's the first option. So again, write a 1 to page dialogue between them and then use the Go Animate cartoon to illustrate that, and then submit the link and the dialogue on the next page. Or you can do new critical theories. In this unit, you've learned about reader response theory, gender theory, and social class, but there's lots of other theories out there to consider. If you choose this one, you can research another critical theory and create a PowerPoint, Prezi, or video in which you explain the critical theory and apply it to a book or movie. So again, you're going to not only introduce it, but then apply it to a book or movie. Other theories you might consider are post-colonialism, deconstruction, psychoanalytic, historic, or new criticism. And then share that file or online on the next page. And then finally, your third choice is applying theory. So in this unit, we've looked at one critical theory and then one short story in each session. However, it's completely possible to apply multiple theories to a single short story. So read the short story down here and apply all and apply all three theories in your analysis. So each analysis should be at least 2 paragraphs long. So you would analyze this short story using each of the 3 critical theories that we've gone through in this session. Then show, in the analysis, you need to show how you look at the same story with 3 different lenses. And then you can submit that also on the next page. Okay, so again, you have lots of different options and choices, very creative ways for you to show me that you understand these different theories and apply that knowledge into these projects. If you have any questions about these projects, please just email me, message me, or call me. I'm happy to help. And then apply and then submit your project here on the next page. And so finally, this is the end. Looking ahead, we're going to be, this is the end of our formal introduction of critical theory, but we're going to be revisiting these theories later on in the semester. So thinking about how reader response theory, gender theory, and social theory can help us go deeper into our reading. So we're going to continue applying these theories for the rest of the semester. Next unit, Unit 3, we'll be reading Shakespeare's Hamlet and actually using the Marxist theory later on in the reading to look at Hamlet through a different lens. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great week, everybody.